tonight's webinar. It is about the grains. Just a reminder that I do not have my PhD or my doctorate. However, I have been trained by the top nutritionist, Sally Ann Creed, and it was quite evident in the last medical convention that we attended in August 2014 that us Banting Buddies knew our stuff really, really well, a hell of a lot better than most of the doctors. Some doctors have a nutritional training of something like 3 days to 3 months. So let's start with the slideshow on grains. So like I say, I'm sure you've all enjoyed your journey so far on your LCHF Banting lifestyle. There's been great success in a lot of the measurements and the weights that have come in. Just to clarify, LCHF is low carb, and I prefer the word healthy fats. Then the word Banting comes from Mr. William Banting. In his time, he was quite an obese man, to such an extent that he had to walk down the stairs backwards. He then went to go and do a casual visit at his physician, and the physician changed his diet to the Banting lifestyle, where he lost weight and gained his hearing. So just to clarify, we are all about a high healthy fats, medium proteins, and low carb lifestyle. Our fats we get from our extra virgin olive oils, avocado oils, real butter, fish oils, raw nuts, and the fatty cuts from pasture-fed meats, as well as your dairies, cream, cheese, and milk. Then we get most of our proteins from pasture-fed meats, fat from those pasture-fed meats, pasture-fed eggs. Just to clarify on the pasture-fed, the reason why we do that is because when the animals eat the grains and they being hormone induced, we will be eating that as well. Animals also hold their toxins in their fats just like we do. Then we have our dairies. Reminder that dairy is not for everyone, and it's not always about the lactose sugar in dairies, but also about the casein protein. Most women over the age of 35 become estrogen dominant, which means they cannot deal with the casein, and the men with your man boobs also estrogen dominant. The way to work out our proteins is if you were a sedentary person, you would take your body weight. If you took the 55 kilograms, times it by 0.8, which would equal 45 grams of protein. Just a reminder that grams of protein is not per weight. So it's not 100 grams of a piece of meat equals 100 grams of protein. Your steak holds a lot of fats and other nutritional value over and above that. On your page 29 in your manuals, it will give you a clear indication on the size portions to the protein portion. Then we have our carbohydrates. Yes, a reminder, I have told you all to eat from the green list, the veggies from the green list to start. When you've lost your weight and maintaining it, then you can venture over to the orange and every now and then maybe the red. These vegetables on the green list have a very high fiber count. A reminder that dairy and meats do not have any fiber content whatsoever. The ways that we do work out a carbohydrate is to find out our net carbs. In order for you to lose weight, we put you on a 20-gram net carb count. So as an example, you take your total carbs of 40 grams minus your fiber of 20 grams, which would equal your net carb count of 20 grams. Out of interest sake, your fruit contains 50% glucose and 50% fructose and very little fiber count. Hence why we tell you to eat anything with berries. So as a little exercise for you to understand. When we look at this 100 grams popcorn unit, your total carb count on it was 59 grams. Minus your fiber is 15.6. The net carb count was 43.4. That is double your daily dose on a net carb count. Plus your fat count was 27.8 with a saturated fat of 13.4. So what makes up that other difference on the fat? If you look at the ingredients, we've got the vegetable oil. We all know that vegetable oil is hugely inflammatory. If you remember my analogy on the forum, when we consume a vegetable oil, your body has to protect it with something. So it protects it with water, hence why we swell. If you were to hit your leg, the first thing it would do, it would go blue and it would swell. Your body has to protect that. So let's look at a good carb. Almond flour. Almond flour has on a 100-gram serving has a 20.4 total carb, a 10.9 fiber, which equals a 9.5 net carb count, plus a fat of 52.2 grams. This product will allow you to be satiated and give you a lot energy for a lot longer and feel full for a lot longer. Then science has proven that we have a gut-brain connection. So many times what you eat is happening to the brain. Hence why we have the epidemic of dementia and Alzheimer's in our older persons. So why are we so against the grains? I've read the most amazing book by Dr. David Perlmutter called Grain Brain. He writes about the surprising truth about wheat, carbs, and sugars, your brain's silent killers. So a little snippet on the back. He's a renowned neurologist, and he blows the lid off a topic that's been buried in medical literature for far too long. Carbs are destroying your brain, and not just unhealthy carbs, but even healthy ones, like whole grains, can cause dementia, ADHD, anxiety, chronic headaches, depression, and much more. Dr. Perlmutter explains what happens when the brain encounters common ingredients in your daily bread and fruit bowls, why your brain thrives on fat and cholesterol, and how you can spur the growth of new brain cells at any age. He offers an in-depth look at how we can take control of our smart genes through specific dietary choices and lifestyle habits, demonstrating how to remedy our most feared maladies without drugs. So let's make this quite real. Here we have brain on grains, a normal brain, and those where the grains have totally influenced an elder person with severe Alzheimer's. What else do the grains do? Grains hold gluten and glycine. They damage our macrovilli. Macrovilli are like little finger-like protrusions on our intestine. With this, it absorbs our most nutritional value. When the gluten and the gliadin enters our intestine, it actually starts to wear away at the macrovilli, leading us to leaky gut, IBS, allergies, autoimmune problems, and digestive disturbances. So just to make it clearer so that we can understand. On our leaky gut, our intestines with the macrovilli is very much also like a mesh. And when the gluten and the glycine actually breaks through the mesh, making holes in our intestines, our food antigens, bacteria, and toxins enter into our bloodstreams, causing all of those other ailments. Barring that, our grains have an acid called phytic acid. This prevents our bodies absorbing calcium, magnesium, iron, copper, and zinc. Now, you wonder why most people don't get a good night's rest. The reason for that is for the calcium and magnesium absorption. A good supplement 20 minutes before you sleep is absolutely fantastic. Barring the fact that our grains have been genetically modified from 14 gene chromosome to a 42 gene chromosome. As you can see, the ancient wheat and our modern wheat. Ancient wheat used to be called acorn. That's very much similar as two people, husband and wife, having a baby, and your baby has 26, 28, I'm not too sure what chromosomes, and your baby comes out with 32 chromosomes. It doesn't work like that in nature. Then we have another factor with grains. It has a thing called lectins, or a toxic called lectins. Lectins are there for the grains so that they can actually reach maturity, and then lectins gets left from the grains. However, we're harvesting our grains long before the lectin has even reached or left the grains. So our bodies cannot break down the digestive system, and it leaches into our bloodstream, obviously leading to allergies and with an autoimmunity response. To make it clear again, grains leads to leaky gut, food intolerances, immune abnormalities, and autoimmune conditions. So then you wonder, why do we go the no grain diet? Lowers LDL cholesterol and blood pressure, decreases inflammation, promotes weight loss, alleviates dermatitis and acne, along with a lot of other skin disorders, promotes heart and digestive health, and increases fertility and energy levels. Enjoy your banting and be safe wherever you are.